All right, you want me to do it from the perspective of one of the other characters?
Only if you want.
I kind of like the idea. I kind of like. Let's see how this goes. It's probably stupid, but psst, hey, do you see that big weird looking one with no shoes? Start talking to me. Start talking to spider language. Yeah, I saw that. Let's follow them. So these little spiders follow these 6 humanoid adventurers through the caves, and they just kind of kept their eyes on you guys as you kind of crawled around after you started talking to them. They haven't talked to humans in a while, except for the driders that lived in here, and they followed you through the tunnels. Like, oh no, they're going to her den. Someone should really tell them something. Then. You guys entered a den with thick webs everywhere, and they said, "Oh no, they're in trouble." And at that time, you guys started talking to a drider by the name of Illustre. Not Illustre, but Illustre. That's an awful name choice. I thought of it afterwards. And as soon as you started talking to the queen, the little spiders scattered. So sorry, that was. So you guys started talking to the queen, and she basically is talking to you guys. You guys are reaching out to her about possibly working together or helping the house take back the Dark Dominion, or but there's things that she wants. She says that she owes the Menzo nothing for basically the treatment that they had for the Driders. But if they are to help, they basically have some asks. A few of them being one of them being a idol that Yvonne, she knows Yvonne used to have with a broken piece of sharded glass, purple shard glass, which everyone besides Wolfram and Nico would know. It sounds eerily similar to the idol you guys found the previous time you guys were in the Underdark. That kind of looked like it was a map when you looked through it, or a piece of a map. She also wants to have that respect and being able to return to Menzo. And you guys are gonna have to make her believe that that the leaders of Menzo are gonna uphold their end of the bargain, basically. I do not recall the last sentence or last exact thing that we were in, because I think we had to end kind of abruptly. But you guys are here with a bunch of driders in the room, with this lady of webs sitting in there in front of you, and she just kind of got done making some of these claims or requests. And I'll kick it over to you guys. What you guys would like to do? Is that enough of a recap, or does anyone want me to go over anything else?
That was great. I love the beginning.
It really was.
I didn't know who you were going to do it in the voice of, and that was perfect.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Fucking love it.
Yeah, I did a little happy dance when I heard who you were doing.
I was like, well, I thought it'd be fun to do, but I don't want to give away anything. Like, maybe it'd be cool to do one time, not do a recap, but not actually a recap what you guys did, but maybe the third party perspective. Like, maybe the guard reacting to the ship being missing now. Like, when did this happen, kind of thing. But maybe another time. But I'm glad you guys liked it. So you guys are in this room. There's driders everywhere. You guys do have that character sheet for Illustrate too. I think I did share it with you.
Which one?
I did. Okay, I'll show it again so that way it shows up on your screen.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yes. That.
That. Okay. She finishes her request of, so, Lady Faye, do you think you and your friends could arrange something like that?
So it's going to be tough to convince the remaining members of the council, but seeing as this is a lot at stake and it's for the survival of everyone, I believe it can be done.
And how do you plan to enter the city with a bunch of non-drow? Our kind is not the most understanding, as she kind of makes a motion with her hands to her body to be infused with the spider.
I figured we'd just walk in, and if they question, tell them, suck it.
She laughs to her. She kind of, this is the first time she probably is, but she actually audibly laughs at that comment to herself.
I mean,
that's a plan. That sure is a plan. My small little morsel.
Thanks.
Another plan I had, and I've been thinking about is, well, it's not really a lie per se. These individuals did help free me from the armies of the Forgotten when I was locked up in their little dungeon.
What are you talking about, us or the spiders?
I mean, to all of you, you behind me. Granted, Anika and Wolfram weren't there.
Huh.
Are you saying that out loud? That kind of a lie, not a lie to her, or are you saying all this out loud to her?
I'll say it out loud.
She kind of
You may want to say that with more confidence if that's your plan, Faye.
That is true. Like I
she's
said,
sizing everyone up and down. And she's like, "I'm not really buying it. You're gonna have to really sell that."
True. If
I can do that. We can sell it. Because it did happen. And also, you can just say, we dealt a blow to the Forgotten. We took their ship, freed their slaves. You guys did some things before I came here.
Freed,
and
feed. They're about the same.
I said some slaves. Voice in my head.
I know.
Don't rub it in.
Voice too? Why is it still here?
The other Driders are kind of coming in more into visibility. There's none of them are hiding away, and they're kind of circling. Are you guys still staying at the entrance, or are you guys all in the room right now? Talking to her in the middle?
I'm probably staying behind the webs and not going near any more spiders.
I pictured I was just like standing either on the side of Wolfram's legs or between them and just talking to Faye.
Okay.
Probably on the side because I don't think he's that tall.
Well, if you guys can make this arrangement and survive your way into the city, then maybe we can do something. Me and my army of Driders can maybe help at least whittle down the forces a little bit in here, but not until that agreement can be.
In order for us to make an agreement, we kind of need to get to Menzo in one piece. Don't suppose you'd be helping with that, would you?
I think with the things that are on the table, it's mutually beneficial for me not to interfere with your passage. But once we are out of the Dark Dominion, you're kind of on your own. It's a decent trek, not like hours, but it's a. You can see the kingdom's walls ahead of you, and there's a fair amount of field between the walls of Menzo and the Dark Dominion. Not a whole lot of coverage, which may be the only reason that the Forgotten hasn't attacked yet with a direct kind of forward attack, possibly. All I can say is run fast.
That is true. Best run fast.
I don't like that option. I think it's our only one, but I don't like it.
I mean, I can run fast.
I mean, half of us can.
Have you guys seen the movie Jumanji?
Yes.
Yes.
With Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
One.
Yeah.
I think Dwayne The Rock Johnson picking up Anika. Like
That's
Kevin
pretty
Hart.
much what's going to happen. It's
So
going to be like, hey guys.
We got you.
Another option is we announce our presence to Menzo. Because where's the Forgotten in this instance? Because they're obviously not dumb enough to cross this field like we are.
So, if you're asking her directly or just asking,
Yes,
in general,
I'm saying this out loud.
Okay, she'll let you know that the Forgotten have pretty much taken over all the different labyrinths and mazes. She doesn't know every pocket of the maze. She doesn't know exactly, but she knows that they're in full force, kind of taking over the tunnels and setting their own traps versus the previous traps that people that belong to Menzo might know about already that are traveling in and out. Obviously, though, this she has with the help of her driders at her command. They kind of have carved out a piece of this Dark Dominion that they have maintained as their own. It's a small portion, but it is their own portion that seems to be pretty well defended by the difficult terrain and just the design of the Dark Dominion to whittle down forces to not let a huge army. It's not like a field where you just have siege weapons firing at the Dark Dominion. There's twists and turns to get through the Dark Dominion. Sorry, that was probably a long-winded answer.
Okay, so we have to go through a labyrinth
Well,
to get to a field to get to the walls?
My
How does
drivers
it-
can take you to the exit, can take you to the other side.
Okay.
If you follow them through, they'll take you through, fairly untouched and unharmed. I can't promise that the trek won't be difficult at all, but they will take you to the exit of the cave and to that field. And then you guys will have to decide how you want to approach Menzo. It's a fair distance. It's a decent run, but you can make it in a healthy sprint without a break to get there once you escape the Dark Dominion.
And that's also assuming we have to have them open the gates for us as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
But
sure.
I thought you had nobles with you. The nobles should open the gates for you, nobles. Though I will say, Lady Faye, I don't know many drows that look like you.
Oh, the half part?
Uh-oh.
She kind of motions. Something happened with the dragonborn you're traveling with.
Oh,
Is it contagious?
Oh, right.
I don't believe so. It's something I'm going to have to ask my mother about.
Well, that may be difficult for them to identify you from a far distance, but you made it this far, so you all must be fairly capable. You made it this far without armies. I will commend you on that.
Question. If I were to announce our presence rather loudly, what would happen?
How do you plan to announce your presence? Are you saying
By literally announcing our presence loudly. Above table, I plan on using minor illusion to amplify a version of Faye's voice.
Oh my god. So out of character. We're talking probably like a little less than a mile from the edge to there. You don't know yet. You're not there, but You could probably project your voice, but you don't speak Undercommon, which a lot of the drow does speak Undercommon. Not everyone speaks Common like Fae can.
I can pick it up. I mean, I spoke a phrase of Undercommon before.
You totally could give it a try. Yeah, I mean, absolutely give it a try. Does it say at all the volume or any kind of restrictions or what?
Its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. Sound continues unabated through a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. You know that it's just if you're screaming, it depends on where you're trying to scream from. You're screaming from the tunnels like a mile away. It might be harder to make sound. If you're waiting until you get to the gates, but archers can start shooting a fair distance away if they have the walls being manned and patrolled, which I think it's a fair deduction that they might, considering they're in wartime and defending against the Forgotten, who obviously want their city.
Yeah, this is an option. Didn't say it was a good one; just said it was one.
Tanir and Ezekiel goes. They'll speak up a little bit too, and they'll say, things have obviously gotten worse. I never thought getting back into the city would be as much of a problem, but it sounds like with how the Dark Dominion has kind of taken a more dire turn, it may become a little bit more complex to get back in. One of the drivers is going to kind of walk around, and one's going to kind of come up to you, Wolfram, and just kind of inspect you. Just this one looks just more curious. Never seen a Warforged. Some of the others take note of you, Chronis, and Halfling, you and Nika, just because you're not common in this area. They've probably seen humans before. Not to single you out, Lorna, at all, but the others are probably more unique to their eyes. So, what would you guys like to do?
Lorna wants to get the fuck out of there.
Well, let's keep moving.
At this time, you also see a little spider come down and land on Skybore's shoulder. Just kind of sit on his shoulder for a second.
Wait, wasn't Skybore a spider?
Is he still a spider? I thought he.
No.
I'm pretty sure he's still a spider.
He's still a spider. He walked into the area. That's why he's not by us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then that doesn't happen because it doesn't make sense.
I also have no idea what wild shapes he has, so this will be fun.
We'll figure it out. We'll play it fast and loose. If it's game breaking, then we'll have to really see what the rule book says. But do your best. I trust you all. So if no one has anything else to do, the Driders will prepare themselves to escort you guys the rest of the way through the tunnels to the exit. Okay. So a couple.
I'll note that.
Go ahead, Wolfram.
I will note that Wolfram just stayed perhaps, I don't know, half a minute longer than he should have, just kind of looking at the Drider Queen before turning to the exit and leaving.
Okay. As the rest of the group kind of prepares and gets ready to follow the Drider, she notices that and she goes, "Can I help you?"
At the moment, no.
What seems to be on your mind? You look like you're full of questions. Actually, let me make a history check. I don't know if she would know what a war. Nope, she wouldn't know what a Warforged is for reasons you guys don't know yet. She goes, "What seems to be on your mind, Warforged? You seem like you feel out of place."
Exactly.
Feel like you lost your bearings. Question: Are you a creation, or are you a reborn Warforged?
Hated. I'm more trying to figure out the word to describe you.
You can refer to me as simply Lady.
Doesn't fit.
Okay. She gets a little irked by the comment. What do you mean it doesn't fit? I am the Lady of Webs. I am in control of this area.
Ladies tend to be submissive from my previous knowledge. Attendance.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What was that? I'm so
He said
sorry.
that from his data and learning, ladies tend to be the more submissive in pairs, and that she is the pinnacle of what she could be, and he is struggling to find the word for what that means.
She, her face is kind of turned from a irritated to even more angry now. She goes, "Leave now before I change my mind completely."
I will take Wolfram's hand and guide him out.
Does he allow it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. I will start doing that. I'll try to be a little mindful. Sometimes I don't do it, guys, so I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want to thwart what you're trying to happen. I just want to make sure every person has a say. So, okay. So, Wolfram, are you just kind of locking eyes with her the whole way as Lorna leads you out towards the other spot?
Locking eyes, per se. Once Lorna takes his hand and drags him out, he's going to kind of look to the vast myriad of webs and try to figure out what the pinnacle... Like, the way that he tried to word it was that the queen is the pinnacle of what she could be. She has reached that apotheosis, but he doesn't know the word to describe that.
So really, he was trying to compliment her, but he just didn't know the
Oh.
word.
Yeah, he was basically calling her a boss-ass bitch, just didn't know how to say it.
And I am thick, and I didn't get that, so I apologize. Not the queen, the DM did not get that. So her response probably was not the best, but maybe it was okay for a little lost in translation there.
He would have
So-
said it in full Elvish. I don't know if she understands Elvish.
Actually, she does. That's a good distinction to make. So you guys all
He doesn't know
together.
Undercommon, but he knows. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys group up and you guys start following two of the Drider soldiers. They're wearing armor and nothing too distinct about them. But one's a man and that one's a female. As they kind of lead you through these twists and turns, the man staying on the ground in front of you all, while the other one's kind of going on the ground, but sometimes she'll divert and crawl around the ceiling like in a spiral pattern through the tunnels as you guys are making your way through. Both are keeping a close eye on you. Is there anything you guys like to do while you're going through these twists and turns through the tunnels, or talk, or say, or do anything?
So, what's really the plan to how to cross this field? Other than pick me up and run. And Faye can fly ahead.
I think that's our best option.
That
To be
might be
honest.
our best option.
Well,
Or
What
Faye
if?
and I can fly ahead, but yeah, what if what?
let me look up something, but go ahead and do whatever. Looking up something for Skybor.
Okay.
I mean, if need be and it helps, I can always use Pass Without Trace. It might help us a little bit.
Well, my question
But
is,
stealthily,
are we dodging anything? Other than possible incoming arrows because they're confused. Or is there like a way to get a message? Or honestly, if I get close, I could like poof up there, but I'm also not Drow.
Faye
if we
would
get
know information about the defenses. I'm sorry, Faye, go ahead, and I was going to say you would know some.
Could I know about the defenses?
You don't necessarily know what defenses they made for this new attack on the city and stuff, as you guys have not experienced like an attack on Menzo in quite a long time. But you do know the defenses that they kind of have along the walls. You know that there are towers that have some arcane abilities to attack people that are approaching within a certain distance. You also know that they would have normal archers and stuff, and some portions of the wall may have some kind of mages or some kind of casters from the academy. That would there's what are they called, ramparts or I'm thinking of messing up the name, but you know there's places in the wall where troops can kind of stand behind and keep an eye out on the perimeter. They're not always manned, but during a time of war, you kind of suspect or deduce that they might be.
Okay.
The only difficulties we're going to have with our approach, yes, there's going to be archers up on the wall, but there's also going to be mages, and then there are towers that offer a arcane defense.
I think so. It's not overrun by the Forgotten. So I think a small group of mixed races might be able to get through.
So us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't
agree.
think we'll have that much trouble. It was like when we met Kuai Zhang at the gate. We saw them running, and we were able to deduce that they weren't the enemy.
Also,
And I hope by us running, and you, Faye, do you have a symbol of your family?
I hold out my shield and I put on my signet ring.
Having that up front might be able to signal them that we are friendly.
Also, do we need to run if the only defenses are Menzos that we have to worry about?
That's an if. Can I ask the Driders if that's the only defense, or are there things lurking in there?
Lurking in what? I'm sorry. Oh,
In the
like
field.
In that field?
Yeah.
Yes.
The man will speak common. He will say, actually, I'm sorry, Tanir and Ezekiel are there. They can answer. And Faye, you know this too. But you know the kind of I say the field. It's really just like a flat rock ground that just is kind of cracks. There's some rocks and boulders and cave formations that have kind of formed along it. So it's don't think of it as like a plane or anything, but it's like just like you described, the obsidian gate, where it's that big cavern floor expanse that surrounds the city. The inside of this area, the city also is, has a huge dome sky, and it's very, very much so similar to the Obsidian Gate in grand in size and kind of layout. But you just know that there are some structures that you maybe could take, hide behind, but nothing long term. Like if they really kind of hammered in on the spot and coordinated their defenses against whoever was approaching the castle, they could probably make light work of, barriers and bunkers that you guys kind of makeshift on your way up to it. You totally could do that. You couldn't stay there for hours to kind of plan your next move.
So we know that there's no other threat other than the people on the gate.
Exactly.
As long as there's no attack from the Forgotten and the other Dark Dominion tunnels entering that area.
That's true.
So no need to run unless we start getting chased.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I guess just move with a purpose.
Yep.
Yeah, because running could be aggressive unless
Mhm.
being chased.
Yeah. Just like what happened at the gate. So yeah.
Sounds like they were being chased, though.
Oh, they were. You would have had fun. So
The fun part is they didn't know they were being, or they knew they were being pursued, but they didn't realize how they were being pursued. And then they opened the gates, and there was an invisible door guard that got in with them.
yeah.
The voice in my head, we have very different definitions of fun.
Mechanical standpoint for Skyborg. Since he's level 4 druid, he gets CR half or lower with no fly speed, which basically means that he could be a warhorse and carry Wolfram because he has a speed of 60 feet. So if shit goes tits up, then Wolfram, you can get on his back as a warhorse.
Cool.
Well, what's your speed, Wolfram?
Faster than mine.
Yes.
He should be at least 30.
Wolfram, you there?
That sounds like a good plan, yeah.
Okay. What was your speed? Is it 30?
30.
Okay. Yeah, so you can go on the warhorse. Me and Chronis can run. Faye and Anika, you get on the broom.
Also, that's quite a spectacle as well.
It will be amazing.
Is.
But I
So,
think, yeah.
more time has passed by as you are walking. You guys keep talking. I'm just, as you guys are continuing to move, as you have conversations planned. I just want to let you guys know that. So you guys keep talking and let me know when you're ready for me.
Okay. But yeah, I think if we have people attacking us, we start running towards the gate, depending on how close we are and what our numbers are. And we'll see from there. And hopefully there's no giant spiders that will attack us.
I don't think the spiders would be the problem. They're kind of on our side right now.
Lorna just looks at you with utter disgust for spiders right now.
I mean the attacking part.
Yes. We'll see.
And then a tiny spider drops from the ceiling and lands on Lorna's shoulder.
Does Lorna
I
notice?
don't tell her.
I don't know. Do you notice?
Probably not. She's probably too busy and distracted talking about this plan, like what she used to do, and she's probably too into talking to notice.
Then she's going to ride on your shoulder for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys keep making your way through. You guys are the webbing is kind of thinning out now. You guys feel like you're kind of entering the second half, like the other part of the tunnels, like you did when you first came, where it was a little webbing, then it got really thick. Now it's kind of getting really thick, and it's kind of getting. Or I'm sorry, it was thick, and now it's diminishing a little bit. You guys do see some giant spiders, kind of peek out from little holes and little, like almost like honeycomb holes that look into the tunnel every once in a while. Some of them look like they want to, like they're hungry, and you can see like the mandibles dripping the venom. Is it venom for spiders or poison? It doesn't matter. Kind of dripping from their fangs as they look at you, but then they see the driders are with you, and the driders kind of periodically make notions or little sounds or comments to kind of tell them back off, and they recess into their tunnels as you guys are twisting through. You guys make your way almost to the end of it, and the male drider looks at you guys and goes, "We're almost there. Are you all ready?" And after you guys kind of keep going, following him, you do see a slight purple hue coming from the exit of the tunnel. And as you guys come around the edge, you come into the opening, and you see this big plain of rock and material, but off in the distance, you do see the city of Minzo. And I can't transfer the player thing for. There we go. Obviously, you don't see the marketplace yet, but you do see the city of Menzo off in the distance. Let me turn this down. That's way too loud. You see this black walled city with purple hues and lights coming from many of these buildings and structures off in the distance. There's also this big citadel in the center of the room that has this big amount of arcane energy that floats amongst the city. It kind of mimics a sun to some capacity, some kind of lighting that kind of illuminates across the whole city. I forget the actual form and name of this. Faye, if you remember, please let me know. Faye would know of this, though, and that is basically, I forget the name, I'm so sorry, but basically it kind of works as a clock almost for the whole city, and it kind of keeps the city in tune with what nighttime and daytime is based on how the light and energy reacts throughout the day. You guys are sitting at the opening of the tunnel. You see about a mile run between where you're at now and the city walls. You guys are welcome to make perception checks, do whatever you like, or just talk amongst yourselves and kind of flesh out your plan a little bit further once you get to the walls, whatever you want to do.
I actually want to walk over to the
Oh, that was also Skyboard
Mail
who rolled
driver.
that, not me.
Okay.
and ask him if I can have a vial of his venom.
Who did you want to talk to? I'm sorry.
The male.
He gives you a look and he just shakes his head. You're welcome to make a persuasion check.
Can I help with the persuasion?
No, this is such an odd request. I would say not. He just shakes his head no. He goes, "No, I'm not giving you my my weapons." And Anika, you said that was for Skybor?
Yes.
So what's Skybor doing? Is he looking at the city? They'll try to make out what's going on the walls. He's trying to check the landscape that kind of arcs around the city perimeter and see the other kind of exits from the Dark Dominion, what those look like. What's he kind of checking?
I'm assuming he'd be like looking out at the field and possibly the wall, just seeing what's going on.
Okay.
If there's anything.
He definitely could make something out. Lorna, you checking? What are you looking for?
She's gonna specifically be looking like on the wall to see if she can see like guards, outposts, what is up there.
Okay. So unless anyone else wants to check, but I'm gonna say Anika, because you're making a more generic assessment of multiple targets. You'll still get a lot of detail with that roll for. I'm sorry, not Anika, but Skybor. Skybor does ascertain some bunker-like boulders that possibly could hold or protect a couple of you guys at one time, but not the whole group as you guys approach. And he also sees that the towers seem to be kind of powered with that same purple arcane energy that kind of is seen throughout the town. He would have to make some kind of insight or intelligence check to see if that what he thinks that is on or off or basically ready to fire at them. Lorna, with your more focused check on the wall, it's really, really hard to see from this far away, but you do see movement on the wall. You can't really make it out, but you do see movement along the wall, kind of moving back and forth.
Okay.
Did you say insight or intelligence?
I would say that's a insight's intelligence, or was that wisdom?
It's wisdom. That's why
I would say that's wisdom. I would say that's wisdom because he's trying to deduce what that means.
Oh.
Okay. He's assuming, without any real evidence to back it up, but he's just assuming, hey, it's lit up and with all his energy, then that probably means that it's, on and primed to go.
I cannot do his voice, but it'd be something as a, huh? That tower is set for defense.
That's perfect.
As it should be.
Yes.
Tanier and Ezekiel's like, so how do you all want to do this? This is gonna be a little hectic. We need to let them know it's us. Hopefully, we can get close enough and get that across to them before they, fire
They
upon
nuke
us.
us.
Yeah.
Can anyone write things, or I don't know?
I mean,
Can you? Do you have a symbol? One of you, Faye?
I have my shield and I have my signet ring. I don't really have any other symbol on me.
I have a symbol, but it's of my family.
Cool, but I don't think that would help us right now.
No.
Because if we could project it, I don't know. Paint pretty colors.
True. I mean, if we could project maybe the symbol on my shield as we're moving forward, because it is my family's crest, maybe that would help.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make a perception check. Those who have not, someone who has not checked already. Okay. So Wolfram and Anika, you guys are, you all are talking and trying to come up with a plan. And Wolfram, Wolfram and Anika, you both catch out of the corner of your eye. I'm sorry, Chronis, did you roll as well?
He did.
Okay, I'm sorry. So Chronis, Wolfram, and Anika, you all notice this while you guys are talking about, your approach. One of the towers starts to activate a little bit. And after a few seconds, you see the arcane energy start to get brighter and brighter and brighter and glow this purple. And you see it immediately shoot this fireball, this big mortar of fire basically out from it towards, not towards your direction, but towards the direction around the curve of the wall towards another entrance, or exit from the Dark Dominion into this big cavernous chamber. You do see movement from this far away. You're not exactly sure what it is from being so far away, but you do see this big ball strike kind of in the middle of the field as these humanoids kind of are trying to make their way towards the kingdom. Looks like it got a few of them, but they're still alive, and they're trying to bunker down too.
Yeah, or so we could do that, or attack whoever just got fireballed. Although I don't know why I think that's a good option.
It's probably not.
Yeah. So the other way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the other way? I'm sorry.
She's literally pointing to the exact opposite direction that the things came from.
Tanier and Ezekiel says, I say we go for it. Tanier's like, this is going to be risky, but I don't know which way to go. We'll follow you, Faye, and your friends. Tanier says, I do think the straightest line is the quickest route. I don't know if it's the safest.
I don't think anything's safe down here.
True. Straight is probably the safest way, and it's definitely going to get us noticed.
Yeah, but hopefully if you have your symbol out and we illuminate ourselves, then they know that we're not trying to be sneaky and not trying to sneak into the city.
Oh, I can do that.
Exactly.
And
probably
lanterns pop up.
And probably keep your weapons sheathed for now.
Yep. Any spiders come near me, I'll punch them.
show the form of least resistance, and because I'm assuming if the Forgotten, they're going to be armed to the teeth.
It's a time of war. It's not far fetched.
So let's move straight ahead.
Yep. You should probably get the broom out, though, Faye.
Room.
So you guys are sprinting, walking just normal speed, or are you guys trying to be stealthy? Are you guys trying to move bunker to bunker as you approach, or you don't know at this time?
Definitely not moving stealthy because we don't want to appear like the Forgotten trying to sneak.
And I think Faye and I are flying? Or was that not this plan anymore?
Not this plan, but we'll have the broom out just in case.
Okay. So you guys are not running.
No.
Okay,
Walking
that's
with
fine.
Purpose. Yes.
That's fair. No, there's not a wrong answer. I just want to make sure how to react accordingly. So,
And I'm going to grab Lorna's hand.
okay. Chronis and Wolfram, do you guys want to make any special preparations? Are you guys good with this?
I'm stretching.
Okay, Wolfram, what about you, bud?
Ready?
Okay. So you guys, the Drider who speaks common says, "Good luck," and he turns around and returns. And you guys start walking your way towards the city walls. Nothing's changed with the movement on the wall. They're still kind of patrolling back and forth. It looks like, I will say, a little bit of the movement seems to be shifting towards where that last mortar went after to kind of inspect what was being fired upon. But when you guys get to be about 3/4 of the way out, you do see that the those on the wall, you can't really make them out still. They're fairly good distance away. They seem to stop moving and kind of lock in on your direction.
They will hold. I'll hold up my shield.
Okay, let me see here.
I'm also going to minor illusion a white flag.
What instruments do I have?
Probably not a white flag. Maybe the emblem on my shield.
I'll
I have
minor
no idea
illusion
what it
that.
looks like.
Because I was definitely looking at it every time you pointed it.
So you're minor illusioning a flag, or you're minor illusioning? I'm sorry. Are you minor illusioning the symbol?
I'm the symbol. Chronis is minor illusioning a white flag, but I'm assuming it's waving.
Okay. You guys, please stop me whenever. I'm just going to keep talking through this but you guys can stop me anytime. So you guys present an emblem, and Chronis presents a white flag that he kind of starts trying to wave a little bit. I don't know if you really can do that with minor illusion, but I really like the idea, so we're going with it.
I think you can.
So,
I think you can make it move, but
it's fine. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are trying to get attention. You definitely get attention. You guys make it a little bit more, a little bit further, and then you see quite a few more figures stop moving, and then you see this kind of like this. The tower start to coalesce again with that energy and start to charge up. And then you see another giant kind of fireball launched at you all in your general direction.
I
counterspell if I can.
Yeah.
You're over a half a mile away. The only reason these can do it and not like mages is these are like structures, like defensive siege, towers.
Yeah.
I don't, unless I'm wrong, I think the counterspell is pretty big, but not that large. So I will need dex saves from everyone.
Okay. I was going to
Go
say,
ahead, Lauren. What did you want to say?
Evasion.
I wanted to pick up Anika and run behind a rock.
Okay,
But-
you guys can totally. Let's do a deck save to see if you can react fast enough. So we'll do 2 deck saves for you, Lauren, to see if you're fast enough. That is fast enough. So everyone else, go ahead and roll a deck save. So Wolfram and who else we need here?
I got a 15.
Hang on, I gotta click on the other sheet I have. Ooh.
Oh no.
Okay. So Faye passes. Lorna passes the first one. So I'll say it, but you failed the second one, but that's okay. So I'll just say it still has the damage. And Anika, I will include that because Lorna did pull you in there with her. Chronis, you failed, and Skybor's failed. So you guys are going to take
I'm using evasion, so I'll only take half the damage.
Yeah, okay, that's perfectly fine. Absolutely. Sorry, I don't know what the fireball damage is off the top of my head.
Why is it always
6.
Skybor?
He's not a Dexy guy.
So Skybor is going to take 23 points.
Ow.
Chronis is going to take 23 points. Everyone else is going to take half that.
I take a quarter because I'm going to use absorb elements.
Absolutely, that's fine. Yep, that's fine.
And then I only take half, so
That's
So
fine.
a quarter of a what's half of 11?
So 23 divided by 2 is 11. Divided by 2 is, we'll say, 5. So. Oh, excellent. Cool. So there's not really a bonus to AC on this piece, but with that in mind, Wolfram, if you go ahead and have that damage, so you take only 5 too, just because of that. And it doesn't really an AC thing, but I'm cool with that if you're okay with that.
No, I just put up there for the resistance.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Resistance
Gotcha,
to
okay.
fire.
Yeah, it's still 5 because you have rear resistance, right?
You can see what absorb element does.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys going through and doing that also with all your spells. That helps me out a whole lot. So you guys are spread to Faye, Lorna and you guys are behind this rock. What do you guys want to do? Everyone else is kind of trying to dodge out of the way and still moving forward. I did not roll for Tunier in them. Shit.
And they're dead.
I just forget to put them on there.
How far away are we?
You guys are about a little further than 3/4, so you're not halfway across the distance yet, but you're a little bit closer than 3/4. Once the tower started activating, you were about 3/4 the way through the field.
Wait, 3/4 of the way through, or only a quarter of the way there?
I'm sorry, you're right. I'm so sorry. A quarter of the way through. You're more than a quarter of the way through.
Okay.
We're like a third. Got it.
There you go.
Numbers. And we're saying we're like more than a mile away?
Less than.
Oh, less than a mile.
Yeah,
Oh,
less
okay.
than
We have 2/3 of a mile to go.
Okay, so it's 1 mile to the gate. Okay.
About.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So the rest of you are out in the open. Lorna and Anika, you guys were able to get to a boulder just in time. What are you guys doing?
I literally just picked you up like a ragdoll under my arm and just like spun behind a boulder. So I'm still holding you.
Why exactly do you think I grabbed your hand?
I figured you would grab Chronis because he's, fairly fast, but I appreciate the sentiment. What are we doing? Run forward?
I think
Run
subtle is
faster.
not gonna work.
I hop on the broom and I immediately take off towards the wall.
Oh, fuck.
Yep, I stay in Lorna's arms.
Can I just start yelling like, we're not enemies. We're here with Faerly. Like,
Can I do
don't know
the
if they're
same
here.
thing? Can I do the same thing, but minor illusioning it and with more curse words?
Absolutely.
Terribly diplomatic here, but
Nope.
heat of the moment.
I'm cursing.
Okay. You don't really see any response for the wall that you would be able to, glean whether or not they are reacting to that screaming at all. You do see the tower that attacked you look like it's starting to, like when they shot the fireball, the purple arcane energy kind of faded, and now it looks like it's starting to recharge its energy.
Hide, everybody! Or run forward!
In the air, heading towards it.
Faye's heading towards it. Okay. Anyone else heading towards it? Is everyone staying put right in the middle of the area?
I'm wherever Lorna is.
I'm going to start taking off towards the wall as well.
You're what? I'm sorry, Chronis?
I'm going to start taking off towards the wall.
Okay. What about you, Wolfram?
Just gonna walk there.
Okay. All right. So you guys are making your way. You get a little bit for Lorna and Nika. You guys are staying put.
No, as soon as I see them start running, I'm running.
Okay.
Full speed. Double dash.
I'm still yelling.
All the way.
Okay. You guys are, trying to get there as quickly as possible. Faye is definitely ahead of the pack with that, the speed of that broom. I think it's 50 or 60 feet. So she's like, she's a decent ways in front of you guys, trying to beeline to that wall to obviously get the message to them as soon as possible that you guys are not with the Forgotten. I imagine is the message she's trying to communicate. As you guys are approaching, you see that the tower does seem to be re-energized, and it's going to go ahead and try to charge up again and take another shot at you all.
Again, I'm going to try and duck behind a boulder.
You're all welcome to react. Go ahead and make a dex save if you'd like to try to find a boulder or some kind of bunker and react quick enough.
Fly up to avoid it.
But you still, it's still a dex save though. Because you're trying to change your flight pattern real quick on the broom and stay on board still. Okay.
Is it still? Yeah, it's still too far away to do anything.
Okay. This one, the mortar kind of goes over your head instead of hitting you as close as it did last time. So let's see. Anika, you pass. Everyone else does take some of the damage from the mortar, but because it wasn't as aimed directly at you as the first one, it's not going to be as much damage as before. So here comes.
Oh, thank God.
It was 8d6, right?
Oh, God.
I'm just
Yes,
able
that
to
is
use
what you rolled
evasion
last
just
time.
over and over again, right?
I'm sorry, what's that, Chronis?
I can just use evasion over and over again.
I think it's once a turn, isn't it?
Once per reaction. Or actually...
Once per round?
Actually, it doesn't
Once per
say
round.
anything for
Yeah,
me.
then totally. You can do it. If it's
Yeah.
once per round, I think you can totally do it. So, you guys take, those who fail their dex saves will take 17 points of damage. Anika, you will take half that. So you'll only take 8 points of damage. Wolfram, you take 8 halved, so you take 4.
They do absorb elements again.
Okay.
Because it is a verbal component.
Oh,
Sure. Mitigate the damage.
wait.
Faye, go ahead and do me a favor, though. Do a, I guess, animal handling? What's animal handling? Is that?
That's
Wisdom.
wisdom.
No. Do acrobatics, then, to try to maintain. The explosion, the explosion doesn't so much, you're able to get to the edge of it. So you still take the damage, but with the diverting of the path and the explosion, it kind of messes you up on the broom. But you are able to maintain your grasp on it. You don't fall off of it, but you're kind of barely hanging on to it right now. You've slipped off enough that you're holding yourself barely on with your one hand.
Huh.
I'm doing my best to stay a hold.
I forgot I have danger sense. I have advantage on dex saves.
Go for it. Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead and
you do.
roll again then.
Ah, nope.
All right.
Good try.
Yeah.
At this time, you do see also Skybor sees this. Anika sees this. Lauren sees this. I like having your passive perception on your tokens. It's so helpful. Hey, what's your passive perception again?
Passive is. Hold on.
You know what? Forget it. I think this is pretty obvious. I think I don't really know how you guys would not see this, really. But you see an arrow plunge into the rocky ground in front of you. And you see another arrow and another arrow and another arrow. None of them are hitting you, but they're not coming from the wall. They're coming from behind you, from the Dark Dominion that you guys were kind of running away from.
No.
What now?
Skyboard. Warhorse.
Okay, Skyboard's gonna turn to a warhorse now because fuck this shit.
Okay.
Basically.
You guys are able to kind of collect yourselves again and start charging towards the wall. And
assuming he still has wild shapes.
Going full speed, right?
He turned into a spider. So yeah, that's his last wild shape is a.
Okay.
As you guys are running towards the wall, you do see that you guys are over halfway there now, and you see the humanoids a little bit clearer. It's hard to make them out, obviously, but then as you guys are looking at the wall, you see that all of a sudden there's these the light that was kind of in the background that works as that daylight nighttime cycle in the city. You just see almost like something's blocking the sun or blocking the light a little bit. Not full, it's not that heavy, but you just start seeing several arrows coming towards you from the wall. I need one more dex save from everyone.
Oh god.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
What's the dexterity of a warhorse?
Just do your own dex save, because if it was going to come right at you, you would probably bail on the warhorse. Oh, I see.
Skybor.
It's a +1.
Just go ahead and do Skybor. I don't really know.
I'm just going to use
right now. Warhorse is.
It's a +1. I have it up.
Then it's a 15.
Okay.
For the warhorse, the Dexy horse.
All right. So, you see all these arrows coming. So everyone passed except for Wolfram. So everyone everyone else does not take any damage. Wolfram, you take 7 points of damage. But you see more arrows come from behind. They're not as effective as the arrows that are coming from the wall. And you see that tower charging up again. But this time, it fires its mortar and it sails clear past all your heads. And it's actually going after the people that were shooting the arrows from behind you guys from the Dark Dominion. And you see that's.
Do we see who's shooting the arrows?
My mic went out. Sorry. If you'd like to turn around and take a moment to look, you absolutely could try to see.
I'm still carrying you, so you can do
it.
I can do whatever I want right now because I'm in Lorna's arm.
I'm sorry, what was your passive, Faye? What was that?
I don't know.
Faye?
Passive of 15, but...
yeah. No. Your 15 is fine. You guys, I assume you're not like trying to make out individuals. You're just trying to confirm what your gut's telling you, right?
I'm trying to see if it's the Forgotten or if the Queen of Webs was full of shit.
Oh, okay. So the 9, yeah, that's still gonna work. These are humanoids firing at you. They're not spider-like or that size of creatures.
Okay.
Can't specifically say they are Forgotten, but you can assume.
They're not half.
But they're not the
spider.
Driders. Correct. Yeah. You got it. So it's a safe assumption that they are probably the Forgotten armies in the rest of the Dark Dominion, unless there's some other group, but you don't really know from this far away. That being said, you guys keep moving forward as quickly as you guys can. You see that the arrows are now. I'm sorry, you guys are now getting really close, and you could. Are you trying to scream the whole way through, and you guys are still waving the flags the whole way through, right?
Yep.
I'm still less cursing now, but yes, I'm still screaming.
Yeah, and from in the air on my approach, I'm yelling, "I'm Faerly of House Bonrate! Hold your fire!"
Tanier and Ezekiel are kind of shouting similar things in the background. I'm sorry, I cannot remember to do deck save for NPCs that are following you guys. So they're kind of shouting the same thing. They're trying to get the attention of the wall. Faye, make a quick perception check. Okay. You can't make out exactly what they're saying, but you do see from your elevation and your way they're not talking through the wall to you, but you're above the wall, so you can kind of have a more direct line of sight for hearing. That doesn't make sense, but what I just said, but you can hear kind of some communication, like they're reacting to that verbal command. At that time, their body language starts to kind of shift. And you see another volley of arrows, though, shoot from the wall. Again, these aren't coming at you guys, though. These are aimed for those that are coming behind you guys. It looks like they are starting to divert their attacks, so maybe they've heard your calls or your warnings. And you can finally make it within proximity of the wall. And Faye, you're still shouting out, I imagine, the same thing.
I'm definitely still shouting.
Faye, at this point, you do hear one of the guards say, "It's Lady Bonray, open the gates," in Undercommon. You see some dispute over the matter, though, opening the gates. But eventually, begrudgingly, after a significant delay, you all kindly make your way to one of the gates, and it starts to slowly open up. And once the doors open, you do see several drow guards, warriors standing there with crossbows drawn and aiming at the group that's coming after. Like, sheathe your weapons! But they're shouting on Undercommon, so I don't think any of you can hear them except for Faye.
Nope.
Can I assume what they're saying, or can I see if I can assume what they're saying?
I will translate. Everyone, sheathe your weapons now.
Their body language is pretty clear. I think Anika and the rest of you guys could also discern what they're kind of shouting at you.
Okay, I would like to, from Lorna's arms, hold my arms out to the side and in common, because I'm not going to speak the other language right now. What weapons? Because we're all unarmed, you idiots!
I mean,
Tanier and Ezekiel say the same thing. Like, we're with Menzo. We represent Banray and House Fane and House Vandre.
I drop Anika because she's technically my weapon right now. I could throw her.
I tuck and roll and land in front of her.
Okay, what about you, Wolfram? Because is your weapon kind of part of your body, or is it still like a separate piece?
Separate thing, but it's more just holstered. He's plucking arrows out of him while he's just glowing red hot.
I'm glaring up at the idiots with crossbows pointed at us, walking forward towards Faye.
You guys make your Faye, are you still flying, or are you coming down to kind of land with
I'm landing in front of everyone.
Okay, so you come down and join your group, your comrades, and they have allowed you into the the gate. It's kind of like it's not like a square, but there's enough of a room for people to kind of move in and out, and carts and different things. So there's definite movement space in this area, but there's several elite warriors and guards. Actually, let me show you, because these are something you probably haven't seen yet. I can't really show. When I show you guys creatures, it doesn't show you the character sheets.
I don't know.
All right. Well, so you see several of the guards that are wearing their normal the heavy leather armor that you guys have fought against before. But you do notice that there are some drow here that are wearing more plate armor. You're familiar with this, Bonray. You know these are the Drow Elite Guard. They stay in the town. They really don't come out of the city of Minzo unless it's a true attack or a strike offensive that they're trying to make. They're pretty much the defensive order of the city. And the ones will say, Lady Faye, is that really you? Kind of gesturing at you with the obviously the major transformation you have undergone since you left the city. Are these your captors? What happened? Why did you disappear?
This is all in Undercommon, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Kidnapped by the Forgotten, thrown in some dungeon miles away. These individuals, my friends and allies, helped get me out, and I've been traveling throughout Troll trying to figure out what is going on. And coming back to the Underdark, I found Minzo. Many of the houses have abandoned it to join the enemy. I can't let that stand. I had to return home.
Yeah, but you return home with I don't know, pets. These creatures are not welcome here.
They are not pets and they are not slaves. They are my friends. They have fought by my side this entire time since we got out of that dungeon. They are to be treated with the utmost respect. Am I clear?
I'm trying to think, is that persuasion or intimidation?
Ooh. Probably intimidation.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Intimidation.
Oh, shit.
Not the best.
Okay. Lady Faye, I do not mean you disrespect. In your house, your family is held in high esteem amongst the guard. I do assure you, but we have been charged with the protection of the city during this time of war. And if what you say is true, the council will have to hear about this and make their own decision. I only carry out their orders. I must take you to your family, though, immediately upon order to receive that if you were to be found or seen, that you should be, brought to the house immediately to meet your mother, who's been looking for you desperately.
And I must commend you. You guys are doing an admirable job protecting the city.
It's all we can do. The bastards won't stop. They keep sending little forces at us like they have bodies to spare. I just don't know how they keep building their army the way they do. But it's getting worse and worse. I just feel like they're trying to find a weak point in our defenses that we so far have not shown any. But as time grows, people keep leaving the city and forget where they come from and their loyalty to this kingdom. I cannot, however, let your friends continue into the city. I think they need to go under close observation until we hear more from the council. Or at least they need to stay with, in your custody, your family's custody, I should say.
Good, everyone. Is that acceptable that you just stay under close observation of them? You can follow me to my family's compound where you will be allowed to stay.
I'd prefer not to stay with a bunch of people who've been shooting arrows and fireballs at us.
So that's a yes.
I'll go with you.
One of the few drows that may speak common kind of smirks and laughs at this subtly, not enough for everyone to see, but probably you, Nika, you would notice it.
I'll give him a wink.
The guard does. They, of course, though, will not be allowed, or none of you will be allowed to carry your weapons until we have orders from the council that say otherwise. And he kind of holds out his hands to you, Anika, for your weapon. And a couple of the other guards come up to the rest of you, holding out their hands for your weapons and arms.
I'll hand him my sword and my dagger, but I'm keeping my instrument.
Are you trying to hide the instrument or just keep it?
Nope, I'm just keeping it because I'm assuming that they don't picture it as a weapon.
Yeah, they're gonna look at you curiously, looking at your kind of cloak and stuff. You're not trying. There's nothing weapons in your cloak that you have, right?
I don't think so. Hang on.
Okay. And then any other kind of weapons like this? I know you guys were collecting some other weapons that you put in the bag of holding. Those were all in the bag of holding, right? Okay. The reason I'm asking, if anyone's trying to keep their weapon on their person, I'll need like a sleight of hand check or something.
I have a patch that can turn into 2 daggers, but I'd have to pull it out. Okay. But I don't plan to.
Nope,
and
that's
I have
fine.
things that could creatively be a weapon,
Also,
but no.
What about my arm gauntlets?
Oh yeah, they're definitely asking for those. They're like handed over. And if you're trying to hide any leftover vials of poison, I don't know if you have any Chronis. They're definitely checking you for that and asking for all that. You're welcome to try to make a sleight of hand to hide the vials. There's not really a way you're going to be able to hide your razor gauntlets.
Fuck.
Please.
This is what Lorna is.
To try to sleight of hand my vials away.
Okay, go
Since
ahead.
it's brow poison.
Hey, if push comes to shove and we needed a weapon, I can get you some daggers.
Ooh, that's a good sleight of hand check. Let me see. All right. They do not find your vials that you're hiding on your person, Chronis. So you keep the vials, but they are demanding your gauntlets. Wolfram, what are you doing, sir? They're coming up to you. These are probably not the elite guards, but just the warriors. They look a little bit. One of them looks a little shaken by your just mass and size, but they're still, following orders. Like, we need your weapons.
Probably
sir.
the fact that I'm glowing red hot, and so is my warhammer as I hand it out to them.
Oh no. All right, did you cast Thaumaturgy or whatever it's called?
Oh, because he was hit with multiple fireballs, I imagine.
No, he's just red because it's freaking hot.
Okay, I was like, did you cast heat metal without me knowing?
No,
no, I love it.
You cast heat metal on a very high level. So.
Fair enough.
He's glowing red hot, and he's just looks to hand the warhammer to me. He's like, "Oh, may one of you douse me with water?"
Just put it on the ground.
Well, again, one of the few drows does, not the one that came asking for your weapon, but one of the other few that did understand, said went and yells at a younger drow boy
he
in
speaks,
the neighborhood.
He speaks.
Oh, you speak Elvish?
He does speak in Elvish. Yeah, he speaks it all in Elvish because he doesn't speak Undercommon.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry. They do speak English, or say Elvish. English, yeah. You're not on that continent yet. The Elvish speak it, and he does understand. He slaps a boy in the head nearby and says, "Get me some water." And the boy goes off to get some water. During that, while you're waiting, he does take the weapons from you. Do you have a shield as well?
He does, and they're all glowing red hot. I don't imagine he'd want to touch them if they're that hot.
He waits then for the boy to get back. The boy has 2 buckets of water, one in each hand, and he pours it over the weapon and the shield, and then whatever he has left on you. And the guard does take it away. It's still hot though, and he kind of, with his gloved hand, make sure he's using the thick part of his glove to kind of just hold it carefully.
Steam
kind of starts coming off your body when the water hits you. He comes up, or another one of the guards come up to you, Lorna, and hold out their hands for your arsenal of weapons that you have.
Yeah. I'll hand the javelins. I'll hand the dagger. I'll hand the silver hand axe, the heavy crossbow. I am.
Another guard comes over to take the rest of them because that one guard has his hands full. So another guard comes over like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, we need all your weapons.
If you lose this weapon, if you so much as scratch it or use it or anything to it, let it be known that your head will be on the end of it. I say it in English, I don't really care. And I reluctantly...
In undercommon, I will follow up and be like, you best do as she say, because if you do damage it, if she doesn't get to you, I will.
Yeah. I will reluctantly hand over Ornmir my greatsword of greatswords.
He takes it, and he doesn't really understand what you're saying, but he can understand the intensity of your expressions and your words, but not the exact content of those words.
Yep.
But he kind of takes it from you, and just not really a reaction. He's not like, or are you trying to intimidate it? Go ahead and do an intimidation check. Sorry.
Fuck.
Helping.
It's okay. Again, he doesn't really react to because he doesn't really understand exactly what you're saying. But he knows it's not. You're not talking to him with respect. And if it wasn't for Lady Faye and the other two with you, and they kind of softening your very blunt words towards him, he probably would take a little bit more offense. But it is actually make a persuasion check, Faye.
It's actually trying to be just as intimidating.
Then do an intimidation check.
Saying, you damaged the weapon. If she doesn't get to you, I will.
Okay. Yeah. So totally with a little assistance from Faye crossing that language barrier, he does not react hostile to your words of aggression, but he just simply takes the sword but he doesn't acknowledge you either, Faye, in the sense like he doesn't give you like special respect or anything. He's following his orders, and until he hears otherwise, he's basically going to treat you all like enemies. If that makes sense.
Great.
And do they need to take my weapon or? Yeah,
they all ask for all your weapons. Now you could try to convince them to let you keep your own. Did I miss anyone? Oh, they're going to go. I'm sorry. They're also going to take kills into the.
My weapon only appears when I summon it.
Okay, there's no like there's not like a hilt that you keep, whether it's there.
Nope.
Okay, then that's fine.
And then through conference, Skyboard.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Skyboard is still a horse.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. That would be an insight or perception?
Let me check.
Because he did change while he was running across the field.
And even if I gave them my weapon, as soon as they walk away 5 feet away or for a minute or so, it disappears.
There's a lot of guard and soldiers. It's not just like a handful. We're talking like the city is alive and it's prepared for war. With enough eyes on the situation, they're going to be able to deduce that that's not just a simple war horse. We need your friend back in his regular form too, as they speak in or they'll speak in Elvish, since now they know that some of your party speaks Elvish.
Or you might want to change back now.
I'm assuming he'll change back. I don't actually know.
Yeah.
He can drop it at will. So.
Oh yeah, but I don't know if he would. But yeah, he'll do it and then hand over.
He's welcome to go back outside with the others.
Maybe Lorna would. I forgot that was an option.
I actually think Skyboard might, unless someone stops. but I don't actually know.
That is fair. You might actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was an option.
Okay.
Well, okay, so apparently Lorna and Skybor are going out and killing everything. No. I will probably stop him if he does.
Okay. Then I'm assuming you get him to hand over his spear and longbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll collect his armaments, and he goes, the one guard, he goes, Lady Faye, I hope everything works its way out, but you do understand this is dire times, and
Time of war.
I'm grateful that these friends of yours saved you, but they are still our enemies. You understand that, right?
Of course, and that all depends what the council decides.
I fear that even the council can't change years and years of fighting, but I hope that you guys can come to an agreement that benefits all involved.
Yeah, and the truth is, the surface is also fighting our current enemy, the Forgotten. And what's the best way to say it? We are representatives from all around the world hoping to come to an agreement here, and best way to put it, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That is what we need right now to survive. And hopefully the council will see that.
Well, I'm loyal to Menzo. I'm loyal to my house. And even though most of my house have fled the city, I will serve whatever the council commands. And he kind of makes a hand gesture to some of the guards to kind of circle around you guys, and to prepare like an escort towards the area of Bonray. Does anyone want to do anything? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to skip up to Faye's side, still playing my flute, and then I'm going to stop when I reach it. So let me guess. They're paranoid. We're the enemy. Yeah?
They are.
Wonder how they're ever going to get allies if they keep shooting them. I'm not saying this quietly at all.
Okay.
Agreed. We will have to see what the council decides.
Cool. Let's get your mom and all of them to speak in not undercommon, please.
Okay.
I didn't check the character sheets, but this is getting really annoying that only half the party, like 2/3 of the party, or 1/3 of the party can talk. So I'm pretty sure they'll learn how to speak real quick between now and then.
If not, I'm just going to keep responding in common. Or I'll just start switching up languages that they probably don't speak either, because Anika's annoyed.
Start showing some character sheets for you guys while you guys are in transit and talking back and forth, just to kind of help bringing these things to your attention. So you guys are near the perimeter. You start getting escorted, and you make your way through the lower income district as you guys are heading your way through to make it to the House of Henri, where they reside in the. Let me double check. Where are you at? You gotta be kidding. The one thing I did not make a district for. I mean, like a shitload of sheets here. They can attest to it. Oh, shit. It's on my city Menzo map. And that's what I was saying the other week. Don't quiz me on these, because there's just so many goddamn districts in Menzo. It's ridiculous. I'm so sorry, guys. Can't find the Bonray house.
How dare you?
The House Loft. So I'm not going to pronounce that. It's called the House Loft. And you guys are going through the lower district first. As you guys are kind of proceeding through it, you can see that this district really is kind of taking a turn from the worse. It's kind of barren, and you realize you see kind of humanoids, dark elf or drow, kind of going into buildings and structures that are left over that have not been kind of completely ransacked or destroyed. No one wants to talk to anyone. they look like rough crew. Not that they're afraid of you guys, but they don't want to mess with the guard, who basically are acting as the police and military of the city right now. As you guys, I'll see if I can show this. I'll show these players to you all later. I just don't want to slow this down at all for you all. So I'll do my best. You guys make it to the middle district, the middle class kind of district. This district is called, well, I'll just show you so I don't have to say it. There's that. I'll show the players. Hopefully that shows up for you guys. As you guys are making your way through this district, you can see that the buildings and structure are not so as slummy. They're a little bit better maintained, but you're obviously nothing outlandish or lavish is in the area. As you guys are going through the streets, though, you guys do come across some drow that aren't as geared as the guard in the military are. Some drow are coming out of their house. They're dressed in a little bit better clothing, just kind of seeing what the commotion is all about. Several are shocked to see non-drow and not in binds. They're kind of surprised to see that there's non-drow in the city that are not being detained. As you guys are making your way through the streets of the city, though, you do see several other humanoids, different races. You see a dwarf, a human, a goblin, a duergar. They're all chained and bound, and they're working for some of the drow citizens here in the city. You guys, let me see here. As you guys are kind of making your way through, you do see one of the drow shouting at one of the. Oops, what's that music? I don't know if I like that. Let me turn that down. You do see one of the drow kick the human to pick up the speed, do his to maintain his chores. The human sees you guys at the corner of his eyes, and he kind of motions to his other fellow slaves that hey, look, there's others there that and they're not chained up. Maybe kind of like they go ahead and make an insight check. I'm sorry, all of you that are paying attention to this scenario.
Wolfram. Good job.
I love that you changed your character picture and you could Sky War. That's awesome. Teamwork. There it is. It's not really that they're hiding it, but Skywar, Anika, and Wolfram, you guys all see this. It's almost like they get a little bit excited and riled up from you guys. Faye, this is kind of out of the ordinary. You start seeing them kind of not flat out be disrespectful to their masters, but the human says something to kind of get his friends riled up, and you see him kind of get up and start pushing on some of the guards and the citizens of the drow, and the one drow, without blinking, takes out his blade and just rams it through the chest cavity of the slave and rips it out, and blood just splatters across the concrete as the human kind of falls down to his knees, kind of grasping at his chest, and dies. Kind of brings the other slaves back in line. I'm sorry, did you want to say something, Laura?
I just stop in my tracks. I'm not used to this. I stopped
next to her.
Okay, you guys are welcome to move your order however you guys want to proceed. You guys are kind of walking in a line with the guards around you.
I'll stop and see this, and I'll move back.
Okay. You hear them kind of one of the drow citizens talk to the other drow who just did this Faye. He's like, we don't have the slaves to keep sparing and killing just because they have a little bit of an attitude problem. Just take care of it, clean up the mess, and don't let it happen again.
Faye?
They start fighting with one another.
Faye?
Food had just arrived.
How common is this?
You said food has just arrived?
The food I ordered.
I'm assuming in real life.
I'm like, I don't think drow eat human, do they?
Oh shit!
It's pretty common, actually.
You know,
I should have warned you guys about this.
yeah.
My apologies.
You remember that book I found when we first met about drow eating their young? I think I found out where they got this story from.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
I guess this might be where the stories came from.
Uh-huh. I think this just got a lot harder.
Agreed. It did.
So, the two drow are kind of arguing amongst each other, bantering, like, basically, don't tell me what to do with my slaves. They're my property. The other one's kind of just saying, we need to keep these slaves in control, and if we keep slaughtering them, then morale is going to go down. And he's trying to argue that by killing the slaves that are bickering, and it's actually going to increase morale because the low morale ones are going to be dead. And they're just kind of bantering this chicken before the egg philosophy situation that they're dealing with in the city. Does anybody else want to do anything before you guys keep the guards kind of are like, come on, we got to keep move along.
Do need to keep moving.
I don't like it. But we also don't really have a choice. And I look up at all of the setters.
Okay. The guards kind of usher you forward as long as you guys don't want to say or do anything. They move you forward. You guys keep making your way through the streets. While you're passing through the streets, though, you do notice... Let me see here. I'll do the character sheets when you guys are doing your self-talking. I'm sorry, just because I don't want to slow things down. I'll pop things up for you guys later on. You guys do make your way through, and you finally make it to the more upper income. You can just tell the houses are becoming a little bit more polished, more grand. The people are wearing finer clothing. You guys are kind of approaching the area outside of the council. You can see this kind of more overbearing structure beyond this district that you're walking your way through. You guys are assuming that's kind of where you're heading. That's where all the noble houses have resided. You guys make your way through the upper district. Again, more commotion. People just kind of responding. People are really disgusted the fact that you guys are all walking around in the clothes that you're wearing, and some are whispering and making comments that are just obvious disgust with you all. And even Faye, you're getting not the same amount of respect. The guards and stuff, or sorry, you imagine it's because of your transformation and that the change from your look. You know that you're well aware that drow are kind of a vain people. They're all about gaining power, and they're very vain, and whatever they want, they get. And your kind of visual transformation is off-putting a little bit to them now.
That is true. Plus, I am a half-elf too, so I've been used to these.
Yes. You guys eventually make it to through the district and you're familiar with this area, Faye. You're in the area where the noble house is. What you're not used to, Faye, seeing is that you know that there's a house for Bonre, you know that there's a house for Vondre, and if I'm saying that wrong, let me know. But you do see one of the other houses that was usually belonged to another. Do you see that the House Fane symbols are actually banners are showing, and the emblems are showing on the architecture? Basically, they've moved up in the society since this all has started to come to be. You guys make your way through, and the guards stop at the gates that lead to the courtyard of House Bonre. The warriors kind of stick back. There is a mage with you guys and two guards that kind of lead you to this door, and they knock on the door, and you see familiar face, Shoot, there's too many characters in this damn city. You see your sister open the door. Faye, you see. Now, I'll let you tell me how you pronounce it, but I think it sounds like Lene. But if it's something different, let me know.
Yeah, that is true, but Faye would be like, Lay? Is that you?
So, Lay is she kind of you know your sister to kind of conduct herself very well, but she kind of lets herself slip a little bit from the surprise. She goes, Faye, and then she takes a few moments to recollect herself.
I just run up and I'll embrace her.
She kind of lets herself accept it, and but she is of the traditional noble blood and upbringing. And she's trying to keep her posture, and she goes, "I'm so glad to see that you're okay, but what happened to you?"
Kidnapped by the Forgotten.
And are these people with
They're my
the Forgotten,
friends.
or
they are not members of the Forgotten. They were in the dungeons of the Forgotten with me. We escaped together, and we've been going through the Underdark and the surface, seeing what's been going on. The Forgotten, they're trying to take over everywhere.
We are well aware of the matter, at least in this immediate area. But we've heard word of, as some of the citizens have been fleeing the city to different territories. Some to the Forgotten, some are just trying to get the heck out of here before we lose the city. But right now, Mother and the others are coming up with a plan so that doesn't happen. And she kind of tries to save face, letting it slip in front of the guards to keep their faith and morale. So we have a plan that will turn the tides and hopefully return things back to normal as soon as possible. Please come in. Your services no longer are welcome guards. If my sister says these people are allies, then they will be welcome to this house right for now until the council can convene again. Tanir and Ezekiel are there with you guys. What do you want to do with them? Do you want them to come with you guys, Faye, and everyone else, or do you guys want them to kind of disperse as well back to their houses?
I'll turn to them. Tanir and Ezekiel, you're welcome to stay here, or if you want, you can go see your families. I'm sure they'd want to know about you.
Did the other three stick with us?
No, they have
Okay.
since left your side.
Just wondering.
No, that's fair. I didn't do all the tokens on here again. I'm sorry about that. Actually, you guys did not do that. Great. Let me take you back to the other views. Tanir or Ezekiel says, "I'm getting the fuck out of here. You guys have been wonderful. Thanks for getting me back, but you guys seem to keep getting me in trouble. I need to go figure out what's going on." And he turns, as long as the guards allow him, and returns to his house, or walks away, basically. Tanir will look at you all. If you guys do not need me anymore, I will go back home to see what has happened since I've been gone. And he does a slight bow to you, Faye. But he also turns to the rest of you and gives you a slight nod as well. It's probably the first thing outside of Faye a Drow's kind of shown any respect to the rest of you. But he kind of acknowledges you that the fact that he got here is because of your company. So he turns gracefully and he starts to, and as long as the guards don't prevent him, and he kind of hesitates for their reaction, and they allow him. One of the lower guards kind of hangs back and starts trailing him and Ezekiel a little bit, but they're not under such scrutiny and close watch as your group is. The two elite warrior guards say, "We'll be outside if you guys need anything, Lay." They would probably call her Lady Lene. I can't say it right. I'm so sorry. We'll be outside if you should need us. Just call. and you guys enter the lobby of the House Bonray, and the doors shut behind you. You see black kind of marble pillars and purple curtains and silks that kind of draped, and various decorations of spiders, around the room. You're in this foyer, for lack of a better word, with Lady Lay.
So, Lay, where's Mother?
She's in her chambers. I imagine Jelena is with her too.
Also, hi.
And, well, of course, Lay, let me introduce you to everyone. Everyone, this is my sister Lay. She is my second younger sister.
Does that insinuate we need to worry about the first one?
Oh. Well, maybe.
She doesn't give you such an obvious sign of respect as Tanir had just done to you all, but she doesn't seem to disrespect you either. She just kind of acknowledges your presence and says, "Well, thank you for bringing my sister back to her. We feared for the worst. We didn't know. House Fane has been kind of spreading some lies and slander about you possibly abandoning us for the Forgotten, but I knew that wasn't true."
I mean, what else would House Fane have done?
Fair enough. But better for worse, they have stuck with Menzo, and they're proven to be their more gun-ho militant style has been actually pretty beneficial to us in maintaining our defenses of the city for some time.
That is assuming they haven't.
Go ahead, Nico. I'm sorry.
That is assuming they haven't shot any allies. Hammer, nails, when all you have is a hammer. It's amazing what problems start looking like.
She finds a little humor in that analogy. And your other friends here, Faye, I see your halfling friend doesn't have a problem with kind of speaking up for herself, despite her size. Who are these other traveling?
All right. Well, the Dragonborn over there, his name is Chronis. A bit of a hothead, but he does have his moments.
She has her. She's not extending any kind of gestures of hello or anything. She kind of keeps her hands kind of folded upon herself, upon each other, and close to her body as she's standing there. She's very poised, and she tries very much so from her upbringing. Unlike Lady Faye, no. She goes, "And you, Dragonborn, what brings you? Why have you come down this far below, or what brings you around this area?"
I am just here to help out with the fight with my friends.
That one, she can't keep her poise on, and she lets out a slight laugh. I mean, it's not like dully laughing, but she does react humorously to your comment. And a Warforge. I have not seen a Warforge in many, many, many years. Where did you come across one? She speaks of you like an object wolfram, like not like you're an actual sentient person. She is being disrespectful. You don't think it's intentional disrespect, but you it's almost like ignorant disrespect. She just doesn't know her words are being offensive. If you find it offensive, I should say.
He's never met a drow before. He would probably ask stupid questions as well.
Fair enough.
He's just going to ask her if there's a smithy or a forge on their estate.
No, we don't actually do any of that here. She kind of gives a weird kind of, that's for the lesser folk to deal with.
Where would they be located?
Those would probably be found in the middle district, I assume.
we did pass by a few of the smithies down there.
Although, you may want to hold your horses, big buddy. They'll still probably shoot us if we leave this room.
Yeah, what did the guards say to you guys when you first came?
No idea.
Looks to you, Lorna and Skywar, who's been a little bit quieter since you've entered this room.
Well,
Have said that. Go on, Lorna. Sorry.
no, you were the one who understood them.
No, they're talking in common for all you.
Oh no, just
They
the
are
question
now.
of what did they say when we first got here?
I'm sorry. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Lorna. I'm trying to give everyone a chance to speak. Well, so we're going to start shifting this whole language barrier a little. So go ahead, Faye.
Did give us a bit of the situation of what's been going on. Of course, they did take our weapons as per protocol in times of war for their safety, and I guess ours as well. And then
Not sure about that part.
I look at Anika and give her a nod. And then they gave them a choice. They could either be under observation of them, or I could bring them here where they could be under our watch.
Well, if these truly are your friends, then you made the right decision. As you know that they probably wouldn't last long in observation until they be turned into slaves. They put to work.
They could try.
Lorna's just, not really dealing with this well right now, but put on a smile and introduce herself. My name is Lorna McKinley, and I'm from Galeos. Your sister's been wonderful help with us.
I'm sorry, you said she's from where?
Galeos?
Ah, that's from Yasnin, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes,
That's quite a distance that you've traveled then.
it is.
How peculiar that you were to cross paths with my sister.
Very.
Well, I imagine you all want to, or I imagine, Faye, you want to see Mother as soon as possible, and so we can get to the bottom of it and bring you up to speed, and see what's been going on.
Of course.
She turns and and then just starts following. Not really motioning, but it's pretty much implied to follow along with her. While you guys are going through these halls, you guys come to stairs again. More of that marble is everywhere, and more designs. You see the symbol for Bon Ray here and there too, and you climb the staircase that has that purple fabric kind of. I can't think of what I'm trying to say. Purple carpet, not red carpet, but the purple carpet, basically down the stairs. And you guys come to this door
The purple carpet.
The purple carpet. You come to this door that's big, black, and it has this metallic spider emblem across it, and it splits down the middle. And she opens it and enters a room. You see a few drow men sitting around, and you quickly identify them, Faye, as some of your brothers. And you see sitting kind of at the head of the room is your mother, Larnis, and your sister, Julina, sitting right next to her. And let me go ahead and get those open for everyone, too.
Ooh.
Probably showing. I will actually open these up to editing too for you guys as well soon, so you guys could take notes, whatever you guys want to do, and collect inside of these character sheets. Actually, probably should just go ahead and do that now. But it says controlled too. Actually, I redact that. I don't want you guys to be able to control them. We'll work it
No
out.
worries.
However you want to do for the notes. Sorry. So you see this older drow lady sitting kind of what you presume is like the head seat of this room, and she's sitting there talking to Jelena and a few other drow that are in this room, and she reacts to you guys entering. She goes, first she sees Lay, and then she sees you. She goes, Faye! And she kind of rises from her seat in shock. You're like, what happened? What happened to you?
It's a long story, Mother.
And then she sees your comrades also in the room. Like, what are you bringing this filth into our house for?
The story involves them quite a bit.
All right. Jelena is like a little bit, surprisingly a little bit more poised, and she stands up. She goes, "Sister, I'm glad to see that you're alive and not with the enemy, as House Fane has made us all, or led us all to believe."
Of course, the enemy did kidnap me a while back. So I guess House Fane might have saw that and started the rumors from there.
They saw that and didn't do anything?
They probably saw it as a chance to rise in power.
Politics.
That they did, and they've moved very rapidly through the ranks. But it's pretty easy to do that, I guess, when a lot of the lesser houses have fled the city.
That is true.
Larnis has conducted herself a little bit better now and starts approaching you, and she goes, "What happened to your face and your arms?" And she reaches out to kind of on the back of her hand to touch the side of your face if you allow her, and just feel this.
I allow her. It happened when we came across a dragon egg.
Oh no. What have we done?
Mother?
She kind of tells some of the other family members and other not as substantial or notable drow in the room to kind of leave you and your sisters, and her alone. And some of the men leave, and some of the help actually starts to disperse as well. She kind of says to you, like, "I had no idea that this would be the cost of, the deal that we struck."
What deal? What are you talking about, Mother?
Well, hold on, Dan. I'm trying to get my notes.
What the fuck?
Surprisingly, this just got more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "When I was pregnant with you, you were not doing too well. I don't know if it's anything that we did or current events, or maybe or maybe it was just fate that did not want us to have you. So when things were getting really bad, we kind of pursued a myth to see if it bared any truth to possibly saving your life. And we traveled to an altar to the dragon Bazora. And we made a deal that if you would say, or that we would grant him whatever he wished if he would spare your life and save you. And he reached out to us through the shadow fell at this altar, and blessed us with a goblet of purple, kind of murky-looking blood, and promised that if I drank this, that it would save your life. I guess you know what the
Dragons?
cost was.
Dragon saved my life?
Yes, Zora, the Eater of Souls. She looks at you, Wolfram. Actually, do a history check, Wolfram.
Can I?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Anybody? You can, Nika. You go ahead, Skybor, as well. Actually, everyone can make a history check if they'd like to. Except for you. Okay, you're not great at all.
Skyborn knows it all.
He says
Skybor
nothing.
knows. Okay. So let's see here. You guys will get the gist. I'm sorry, I'm gonna still trump Skybor. I just don't see how he would know this at all. Let me think. Let me think. I don't want to I'm sorry. I'm not being very good. I just need to react to the roll. I'm just trying to think of a way to make it work.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I just thought it was interesting. I got a natural 20.
So Skybor will know a little bit from his travels across the sea and tales, but still, even with that great roll, it's still with his overall knowledge of history and the area. He's not going to have all the details. Whereas Lorna and Anika and Wolfram, you guys are a little bit more learned, and you could probably put the pieces a little bit together. Lorna, you would have an even better inkling because you spent some time in the Vikel Islands. So you would know that Lorna's going to continue, and she goes, Zora, because you guys look like you have inquisitive faces, and she goes, like the son of Vulcus. And when she says Vulcus, immediately light bulbs go off for several of you, as Vulcus is a chromatic red dragon, an ancient red dragon that back in the giant draconic wars, and he was the father of Zora, and you guys just would recognize that name as one related to that war and battle that was fought. The Wolfram being a little plugged into it too, just because he was, a warforged, and that race was basically born out of necessity to fight fight the chromatic dragons alongside the giants and the metallic dragons. So I guess the cost of this was tainting your blood with his. It's curious that you look. It's red scales, right? It's obvious.
Yeah, it's red scales.
It's curious that a shadow dragon, you would take the red dragon traits over the shadow dragon, but perhaps because he originally was a red dragon before he was tainted or touched by the Shadowfell and corrupted. I don't know.
It's possible. It would be interesting to research that. And his name is Pizora?
That's correct. He may be influencing our life more and more than we even know, but I'm glad we still made the decision.
I have noticed since the scales appeared, I have had new magics I can wield. If that makes sense.
And perhaps it's for the best. Maybe this is. I'm glad we saved your life, of course, my daughter. But perhaps it was. It's going to be beneficial. This pact is not going to be at pure cost. Maybe you can use it to your advantage. Other ways too. Jelena speaks up. She goes, "So where have you been, Faye? You've been captured, but you've been gone for so long. Your friends saved you. Why is it taking so long to return?"
Well, after being kidnapped, we did escape from the Forgotten. I was actually curious of what was going on elsewhere, see what this threat was doing, and it seems they're also trying to take over the kingdoms on the surface as well as over here. They're trying to conquer everything.
Then Merlin's warning is true. So,
It is.
Boy,
Yes, and it's going to happen again. What caused Merlin to come down here? That's why I'm with Faye.
no, I'm speaking of not when he first appeared, but when he came down here to warn us about this potential threat.
When was that?
Let me get my notes. This would have been while Yvonne, your grandmother Faye, was still alive. He came down here to speak with Yvonne to basically warn us about this threat that's going to come towards us. And in the consumer world, we did not, give him the respect that he deserved, I guess, at the time. And your grandmother, along with others, kind of disregarded his call. This would have been about 400 years ago.
So that's long before he disappeared.
I'm sorry?
That is long before he disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah. So, let me get my other. When after the queen became the empress of Tual, and we fought the dragons back, Merlin came down here in efforts to continue to unite the kingdoms. Even those that live underground like us, and try to have us join the kingdom. But being the proud and powerful people that we are, we obviously did not stay with them. But Merlin did bless us with a gift to your grandmother before leaving us.
what was this gift?
I do not know. She took that secret with her to the grave, but she did tell me before she died that she did lock it or hide it away inside the Dark Dominion in one of the many, many passages and deep within the maze.
You don't happen to know what it looks like, did you?
I do not. I am not sure. It
Cool.
was kind of told after the fact. This conversation was more in private with Yvonne. At the time, she was probably the most powerful figure in all of Menzo. Even with all the houses here, Bonray was the most prominent house in the whole city. She kind of operated above. If we didn't have a queen, she would have been it at that time.
She was truly gifted.
Mm-hmm.
Gift is a word, short-sighted at times, but powerful.
Well, I think we know why the Forgotten is going after Menzo.
Yes.
Problem is, there's nothing in Menzo that they want. Not really.
Well, I'm sure they would like to get to some other treasures we have here in our city, as well as eliminate a force that they can't defeat outright. But I'm afraid the tides are changing soon with, losing control of the Dominion. It doesn't matter that they can only trickle in armies slowly and surely, but eventually they are going to amass a force. I'm thinking the Dominion's just slowing them down right now.
It sounds as if...
And in our journeys, we have found they are working on trying to breach Minzo through the tunnels.
And correct me if I'm wrong, milady, but it sounds as if you allies, or Menzo's going to fall eventually.
Seems like many events have brought you guys here to us, and my previous dispositions and prejudices should kind of to figure things out and at least hear your guys' case.
I don't. Nope. Go ahead.
There was another reason we did come down here at this time. The surface dwellers, they know as good as that they are in need of allies just as much as right now what's going down here. With 3 of the houses remaining, Minzo, it's only a matter of time, like you said. We need allies. And unfortunately, I think it's time we started taking Merlin's warning serious.
Yeah.
She kind of smirks to herself. She goes, "You sound a lot like your grandmother, Faye."
I sound a lot like her?
You conduct and you carry yourself well like her. She was not as kind as you are. I don't know where you got that from, but
Are you
probably
sure it's not from
father's
you?
side.
you caught me on a good day, my sweetheart. Plus, your DM doesn't know how to be a dick. He's really bad at being a dick. So she'll say, but your words kind of mimic what your grandmother told us in the sense that the surface believed that they succeeded in uniting all the kingdoms and stuff, but he actually never saw success. He told Yvonne that until we all unite against them, the dark one that's coming for us, that it was a failure. Until we all stood against them, that we were destined to fall.
And yet, here we are.
Well,
For now.
you can't just suddenly change thousands of years of culture in a matter of a few simple centuries.
Ignoring
time.
the simple part, you can certainly try if the other option is to be smashed to death or turned into slaves.
We've done very well till recently.
Which is why
Yeah.
we've come here. We have
It's
a couple
a-
offers.
Yeah, it's kind of the recent part, and the future part, but important.
And Mother, we might not have a choice in that matter. The enemy, they have these things, these brains with legs that can take over bodies. Really disgusting creatures.
Intellect devours.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've.
They also have quite a few mind flayers.
That's not surprising. We have heard of this. And at this time, the door opens from behind you guys, and you see another person enter the room. And let me get there. And you see this mind flayer walk behind you with some scarring across his eye. Some of the tendrils kind of ripped off his face and starting to scar and heal up.
Fists are immediately up. I'm defensive. I don't know what's going on.
What's that?
My fists are up and I'm immediately defensive.
I hold up a hand while I stare at this individual.
I'm going to step up near Lorna and look up at this thing and say, "You look like you got your ass kicked."
his tentacles kind of furl, and Gurgle is like, how lovely of company you. I'm not going to try to speak with this gurgly kind of. I just imagine it's very much so like fish-like and gurgly and bubbly and poppy when he speaks, but he's going to say, what lovely company you have here, Larnis.
I'm going to assume you're
Who's
not
this?
forgotten.
Not anymore. And he sidesteps around you guys a little bit and kind of goes towards Larnis' side. My name is Drell.
Who's this?
Drell.
My name is Drell.
Meet you, Drell. I'm Faerly.
And I'm here to try to help your mother combine the houses to fight back the Forgotten before it's.
Huh. I think that makes all three of us allies.
I guess that does.
Make a wisdom saving throw, all.
Oh boy.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Hang on.
Remember, you guys do have your fate tokens. I just want to remind everyone, but you do have
True, I will use my fate token to gain advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, not
17.
worth it.
He looks at you all and he kind of makes as much as expression as you can gain from this tentacle face. That he's like, that one has a very delicious brain. As he kind of gestures at Anika, and Jelena then snaps and goes, Drell, we have a deal. You can only eat the slaves that we give you.
First off, not a slave. Second, and I turn to Drell, you'd have to come get it. And I back up 10 feet.
Behind
With
Lorna.
with my arms in the air, though. Like I'm ready to fight.
Lay lets out a decent chuckle. And like this, she's been trying to keep her poise and conduct herself with nobility, and this time she just can't keep it in. She just kind of lets out a decent, abrupt laugh. Not a long one, but you could definitely it's a shock to the room. You feel it in the room like what are you doing? I'm here to see if it's not too late to save your people and Fantasia from the Forgotten and the other Mind Flayers that have come.
So, why?
Because, or, oh, sorry, go ahead, ask your question.
Why would you be willing to help others?
Because, like you, I am originally from Fantasia. And I've seen firsthand how the Dark One really sees his servants. He's going to start going over some details and some general history, but he starts telling you the story I'm sorry, I didn't read my notes. I'm so sorry, guys. There's just so many different characters. I tried to study them before the game tonight. He's going to say, I saw the power of the Forgotten firsthand, and I saw the Empress rise. I saw her kill, and I saw her revive what she had killed, and just treat, essentially my brother in front of me just with a simple spoken word by just telling him to die. And he fell before me, and she raised the dead and made him just another mindless zombie slave to kind of do as she wishes. So obviously,
That was just a word?
No loyalty to us hereborn.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Probably.
That's a bit
You
troubling.
guys have not got any outright confirmation. You guys have communicated with each other. You know, the Empress has been trying to be raised, but this is like the first verbal confirmation that it's not trying anywhere. She's risen. She is returned to Fantasia.
Then that just confirms the dream I had too.
Your dream.
Which dream was that?
I don't think I ever told you guys. The Dark One, came to me in a dream. Says that they're watching us. Or coming to find us. It's been a while.
Well,
Yes.
you must be doing something, right?
Yep. I definitely think the gifts of Merlin have something to do with that.
From my research, probably most definitely. Which means we do have to go to the Dominion and get that one.
For sure.
I'm
Mhm.
sure Vosk is searching very, very much so for that. Try to get that gift for Quill.
Yeah, but I think they're looking in the wrong place if they are trying to get it here.
Yeah. Grandmother had to have had some way, maybe somehow she wrote something down that might reference where she might have hidden it. I'm not stating it obvious, but maybe destination she traveled to.
Wait. I pull out the gem, the map gem that we have.
Wait, is that the one the spider lady was talking about?
No.
So just to bring you up to speed, Anika, sorry. And you, well, actually, no, you guys explain it to her. Sorry, it's better for your characters to explain it.
When we first initially came down into the Underdark, we were traveling through tunnels and all these different things, and I believe we found this on a statue.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, shit, is this the thing that the spider lady was looking for?
Okay, so you guys ran into a follower of Ori, and they said that there was a map to get to the Great Divide that connects the Underdark from the west side, basically from Tawal to Fantasia.
Oh, okay.
They saw where to find it. Find that gap to cross over the world without having to go across the seas. It was shattered and hidden across the Underdark, and well, as far as you know, Fantasia, you're not so sure if it's only in the Underdark. To hide it, because Merlin, you now with the information that Larnus gave you are kind of assuming that because Larnus didn't heed his warning, he didn't want the drow to spread like locusts across the world, but they could connect the western drow kingdoms with the eastern drow kingdoms. That would make them far too powerful.
So I may not, if I had remembered that, I wouldn't have brought this out.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you. So you're not saying that to them right now, or
not bringing it out.
But you know, so that's a piece of the bigger puzzle, essentially.
Yeah.
Mother, did grandmother keep any journals or diaries? Maybe she wouldn't state it outright, but maybe mention places she might have traveled. Maybe that might help narrow down locations where she could have hid this gift.
I know that most of her work and writings have been collected and stored for preservation and education at the Academy, but she also was buried with a lot of her personal effects as well in her own mausoleum in the graveyard, essentially, where all the previous house matrons go to be laid to rest.
And knowing what I do know about her, if she did have a way of knowing where it was, she would have taken it with her to the mausoleum.
Darrell kind of looks at you guys and strokes his tentacles a little bit and goes, "We must try to find the pieces and get to that before Vosk gets to it. If the Elderborn get a hold of the keys, they'll most definitely give it to Quill and get them one step closer to freeing their father."
No offense to your battle scars and all that, but we don't have to do anything with you.
You are completely just in being apprehensive.
Gee, I'm glad you say that after saying I have a delicious mind.
It's a compliment.
No, it's not. Not like that. It's creepy.
Well, I agree with that. It is creepy.
And mostly predatory.
Creepy, I admit.
Mm. So we
They're
have
not feeding me slaves as regular as they used to be.
good. They shouldn't be
Good.
feeding them to you.
They really
shouldn't
shouldn't be
even be
slaves,
slaves.
but that's also a bigger point than we're equipped to deal with.
At least for now.
Agreed.
But it seems like we have many points to talk about. And
Yes.
we need to get this gem that your grandmother had.
And we need rights to be able to move around here without babysitters.
Yeah.
Or at
That
least
will-
babysitters.
That would be up to the council.
Which starts when?
Yes.
We can call a meeting probably as early as tomorrow.
Oh, God.
You're welcome
Nice.
to stay in this house. Lorna says this. Lena's being just kind of quiet. She's kind of taking it all in. Quiet, like Lay is being quiet too, but her expressions are contributing to the conversation. Juliana just kind of seems like she's really
Absorbing?
not as involved in the conversation. She's just trying to like evaluate each one of you. Like she's just trying to like measure you all up.
Oh, great.
Beat on my sister at all?
I'm sorry?
Beat on her at all? Knowing her as well as I do?
Go ahead and do an insight check to read deeper into it. If you
Side on her. 11.
You don't think of anything malicious. She just doesn't trust your friends. The whole situation, the war, and everything going on just probably has her on edge. They're really trying to figure out who their allies and enemies are for that house.
Okay.
The Drell says, "No worries. I do not live here at night."
I actually wasn't that worried about it. Because like I said, you'd have to take it.
It sounds like you're inviting me. And he kind of
I stepped
furls
between
his
them.
tentacles a little bit more. Larnis or Jelena, I'm sorry, not Larnis, Jelena say, "Faye, please do not irritate our guests."
Ignoring
course.
that for a second, I lean around Lorna with I lean around at Drell. What did he say again? Oh, like I'm inviting it? He's like,
Apologies for that Drell.
I'm gonna whisper.
You
Not
can,
all of us are as defenseless as to be. So
Oh, fuck.
stay away.
What are you, let me see here. What are you thinking? What is Anika internalizing right now? Like, what's on your mind? Like that your character's
Oh,
not
fuck.
saying.
That I'm not saying. So I can use
Is
my
she
magic.
scared? Is she?
Not really. She's more annoyed that he's eating a whole bunch of slave brains regularly and is threatening her. So she's got her hackles up. And I technically still have access to my magic right now.
Okay. Make a intelligence saving throw.
Oh, no.
Saving.
Um,
I'm going to take that 16 with the fate token.
well, that's not how the fate tokens work. You can re-roll a die and take the highest of two. So, I see what you're saying. I'm so sorry. Duh. Okay, yes, you could do that. Oh wow. Okay. So he kind of furrows his brow and his tentacles again in frustration. He goes, very delicious indeed. And he looks at Larnus. He goes, if you I could go ahead and start sending the message to prepare the council for a meeting tomorrow. I'm sure the other houses will be happy to see that your daughter and her, now looking at you, Anika, her charming friends have returned to us. And then, Jelena is going to start really analyzing Chronis and Wolfram, just because they've been the quietest of the two. So, what do you all think about what has happened so far, or what do you plan to do here in Menzo if you get free reign of this to roam around the city freely?
Pray.
I'm sorry.
Pray.
To whom?
Oridon.
That's interesting. I didn't know Machine prayed. I didn't know. You guys worship deities. And you, Dragonborn?
At the moment, it's to keep my eyes on Drell here.
Drell, we'll try to make one last chance to smooth tensions a little bit. Obviously not completely, because I have severed myself from the Elder Brain. I'm no longer part of that, following that the Hive, essentially.
I understand that Drell. I think me and my friends, we are still a bit on edge. We've seen Vosk and his ilk. We've fought Vosk once before. We're sorry for distress.
He's kind of shocked at this comment right there, but go ahead.
It was a month or two ago, I believe.
At least.
You fought. You're telling me you fought an Elderborn Illithid and are standing here to talk about it?
He did teleport, but not before rendering me unconscious and close to death.
You're lucky you're still breathing then, and you have your brain.
Didn't get that close to him. He did some kind of mind blast.
He'll say, whatever you guys do, whatever happens, I will bid you one warning, and do not take this warning as a sign of friendship, but until this current threat upon us is subsided. But if you come against a Starborn or an Elderborn Illithid, you need to not fight heads up. It will be life-threatening.
But I'll keep that in mind.
Not to, or what's the word I'm looking for? Diminish my capabilities, but I am just a Hereborn. I don't come from where they come from. A little bit of a lower class, if you will. I think you Drow very well, much so understand that.
Unfortunately.
So, unless anyone has anything else to say to Jarrell, he's going to look at Lay Larnis and lean over. Actually, he doesn't have to. He speaks telepathy, so he's going to make a look like physical motions towards Larnis, but not actually say anything. And decides, or then starts to walk back around you guys if no one stops him, and walk out the door.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Drell.
And to you, Lady Faye, hopefully we are not too late to stop this.
I hope so as well.
So Drell then leaves unless anyone else has anything else to say to him.
Nope.
Mm-mm. I think I said enough.
Amika's a little firecracker. I love it.
You are.
He started it with threatening me.
That's true. But All Might, though. Bit of a firecracker.
They're hitting the buttons.
Yes, buttons have been hit tonight.
So it's just the rest of you still here. And Jelena says, well, maybe if we have nothing left to discuss until the council in the morning, perhaps we should show you to your rooms and we should all get some rest for the evening and prepare for a very laborious and draining conversation with House Vane and House Vandre.
Yes,
Has been a bit of a day.
it has been.
Yes.
Would I whisper to Faye, should we warn them of the topics we're going to be talking about?
Probably.
We should.
Is there something wrong? Jelena?
No.
There were a few topics we did want to bring up to the council.
We thought it best to prepare you beforehand. There are a couple of alliances that are being tossed about that we hope will bring the overworlders, the humans above, and you together.
Not to mention help defend Menzo.
Yes.
Hearing that Merlin did warn about this, it seems it might be time to at least listen.
I mean, second chances don't come around often, do they?
Lady Lay is shocked. She doesn't keep her poise. She kind of like her, it's not, dramatic jaw dropping, but she parts her mouth a little bit, as poised as she could be as a jaw drop could be, I guess. It's not like, it's not hitting the floor, but she's obviously so shocked by the mention. Jelena does not react. She remains kind of stoic and keeps her poise. Larnis' face kind of reacts inquisitively, with some thoughts kind of in the background, obviously happening. Well, then it sounds like we all have some difficult sells that need, or pitches that we're going to be making tomorrow.
Yes.
I would like to see that we kind of unite under one house, like we did back in the days of your grandmother, Faye, and almost abandon our houses to form one house, so we can coordinate our efforts. If we're not abandoning our houses to the sense of that, but to at least, what's the word I'm looking for? Report to one house to coordinate all the troops and the efforts. Because right now we're still, as we work as a city, we're still 3 houses kind of split on topics, and we can't really respond effectively if we're all receiving different orders from different houses.
Yes.
Ooh, and if we united under one house, that that would change a lot of things.
And
Yeah.
here
Jelena
you,
kind of. Oh, go ahead, guys.
you know, and this is you just saying you're a good day. I think you underestimate yourself.
Just my ability to see things clearly for what they are and intelligence should not just not make me. My ruthlessness does not stop me from being intelligent and thinking and seeing things the way they are and thinking things through. Jelena, though, cuts you guys. She goes, "Mother, that's never going to happen. They're House Vandre. They're too strong to just completely relinquish their power, and Thane will just never go for it. It's an uphill battle. There's no way we can do that."
Well, there
Sounds
may
like
be
fun.
a way.
Might be a way, but that will be up to the matrons to figure that out. Right, Mother?
Let it be known that there may be potential allies within the Underdark here already. You,
Who have already withstood the Forgotten.
yes.
Battle proven.
I'm
Right?
sorry.
I speak of what's her face?
The
Lady
of
Webs.
The Lady of Webs. And her
Come across
followers.
her. We did come across her earlier, and they've been fighting back the Forgotten. The Forgotten haven't been able to invade their territory at all.
And that's without walls and towers that shoot fireballs.
Yes.
Just saying.
If they have not fallen to the Forgotten, how can you be so sure that they are not all forgotten?
Have you met her?
We did see them kill a couple of the Forgotten.
Yes.
Also, if you've ever met her or heard of her, I highly doubt she's the woman who falls for anyone.
Fair enough. She is a proud bitch.
Yeah.
But a potential ally. So keep that in
And
mind.
in this time, a battle-proven ally who really, the only thing you have to do is let them in. You're not giving up much, but you're gaining quite a lot.
You will consider.
They may be drow that have been punished, but they are still loyal to Lolth, and that makes them good allies.
Also, going back to mistakes made 400 years ago, let's not make another one.
Yes. But
I am following you logically, but there are many, many of those that need to be convinced of this as well. The logic is sane. I don't agree with surface dwellers, but at this time, perhaps banding together to fight our children who have left Benzo may be fortunate for all parties involved. Jelena will kind of speak up and in a more elegant way say the elephant in the room here, but speaking more elegantly than that, we'll say, "So, Mother, who will sit on the council tomorrow during the meeting? Is Faye going to have her walk right back and have her seat?" And she goes, I just will not allow that. Faye has not been here. I've been here supporting you and defending Enzo in her absence. I'm not giving up my seat on the council.
What do you plan to do with your seat on the council?
Continue to rule and make decisions that protects the city as much as possible.
So would that be protecting a crumbling city or actually?
I mean, no disrespect, lady, or my Faye.
Or you've been here.
Still my sister. I'm sorry.
You've been here. You've been taking my place. I've been out there behind enemy lines fighting. I think it's best I stand before the council.
Not on it.
Wants me on the council, I will I will sit and speak from there. But it is your decision, Mother.
Larnis will take a moment to think this through. She actually turns and walks back to her seat and kind of ponders more. And after several minutes of thinking things through, she goes, I think with the other houses, and really this is kind of a power struggle, I'm afraid that Vandre and House Fane may use your absence, even though you were captured, against you in your if you were to return your position of power, and rather than return you to the council, because originally you were on the council per se. The reason that these next in line siblings are in there is just because of the mass exodus of other houses. There's no other houses on the council besides the three of them. So to kind of replace that, they've kind of have some of their next in line can take seats on the council, so it's a little bit of a better representation of the decisions. The matrons still make the decisions, but they have way more input now as well. She says she's afraid that if you return to your seat, that the other houses, by saying that, are either will contest it or use that to kind of gain more ground politically and attaining more power within Menzo.
That's reasonable.
That actually may be the best advantageous position for us.
But
Is for you not to be on the council.
yes, but her being on the council also shows her loyalty to the city and to Menzo. Her being back on the council shows power in herself, Faye, for you to rule and be on the council and make sound decisions. You now know both sides of the story.
Make a persuasion roll, Lorna.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Anika. Go ahead, Anika.
Fuck.
It's not too bad. I mean, it's not change your mind kind of speech, but it's definitely words that were heard.
What?
She pauses for another couple minutes to digest your words while Anika speaks as well.
How many seats do you have on the council? And what is the council's role during war times? Because I know where I was raised, battles are different. Governments change. Things need to be streamlined.
Well, we've never fought a defensive war in quite some time. It's been a very, very long time. So we're the ones that are on the attack. As she kind of, sorry, let me look. That comment really doesn't apply to anyone specifically in the group. Maybe Wolfram. Not really. Sorry, no. So usually we're on attack. Go ahead, Wolfram.
Paying attention anyway. What were you saying?
I was saying she was just basically saying that the city is usually on the offensive side of war, not on the defensive side of war, and that was basically.
So you have no commanders of any forces at all, except for the guards on the tower.
The guards are supposed to listen to the decisions of the council, regardless of house, as you would expect. That doesn't necessarily always play out that way. Sometimes the guards forget, and they still serve their own houses. Within the council.
Yeah, we may have noticed that. This might work. It certainly could help streamline some things. What if you named a commander or a special advisor who actually has fought in the Forgottens other than just shooting arrows? Someone who has been taken, survived, and actually dealt a blow. Didn't you say there was a named Forgotten leader that was killed by our group?
Well,
We did kill Nail.
Nail.
Yes. Which Anika would have remembered, Becky forgot.
This is going to be a very complicated discussion with the council. I do not think they would go for that as promising and as strong and proud as I am of you, Faye, for what you've accomplished out on your own. Though it doesn't seem you were on your own for too long. I think they're going to not want to relinquish power outside of the matrons of Menzo, but they may consider your alliance proposition if Menzo is properly represented on the surface.
Do we have similar definitions of what properly?
They essentially want to be involved in the alliance strategies, like the council on top. They don't want to be dictated or used as pawns. They want to be part of the council, kind of like what you guys were convening with before coming down here to help make decisions.
Just trying to make sure that their representation didn't mean we get to tell them what we want and wahaha.
That is very reasonable. The council up on the surface dwellers, they have a whole representatives of all the different kingdoms up there. It would make sense for Menzo to also have that same respect.
Before we talk further alliance, though, as much as I'm intrigued, and we do need to have a plan, we will need to figure out how to deal with our current situation with the Dark Dominion and being basically trapped in here.
Yeah, we could make whatever alliances we want, but if the city gets taken, because we're surrounded pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
If the city gets taken, the alliance is all for naught.
Agreed.
So, time to get off our heels.
Mother, speaking of alliances, do you know anything about the stone giants? Wolfram, my Warforged friend and companion, mentioned them when we were on our way here. Do you know anything of them?
Stone giants, your friend. What do you know about these stone giants? Wolfram, is it?
I require access to a smithy in private for 4 days. I will get you I will get you their help.
Wait, what?
Require access to a smithy for 4 days. After this, I will make a pilgrimage to them, and they will aid you. If you need a tunnel carved for escape, it will be done.
Ooh.
Make a persuasion check. I'm so interested. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, fuck.
We will talk about your needs as soon as the council decides what to do with your presence here. But if the council, agrees to your freedom within the city of Menzo, I'm sure we could come up with those accommodations.
Of course.
Anything else you guys want to ask before retiring to your rooms for the evening?
Nope.
Mother, where is this altar to Pizora you went to? Perhaps one day when all this is over, I might want to thank the one that helped save my life.
It would be, let me see, pull up my notes. It is several miles to the southeast. It would take some time to get there. But when we traveled from Menzo before, it took us about a week to get there.
Of course.
And we'll flesh out real specifics about that. Faye, I just don't want to set anything in stone on that until we kind of talk more about that. Okay.
Faye was just curious about that.
I know. No, and it's totally in the area, but I have not placed it on a map. So I just want to make sure that we talk a little bit more through. But it's very much so close to Menzo. It's not as far as Burlos or Glimodier. It's definitely in the Underdark. But I just want to kind of make that concrete before I give you anything to matter of fact in the game yet. So, what would you guys like to do? Would you like to continue conversations or break for dinner and before bed, or
Break for dinner, probably. I think some of us are fairly hurt.
okay?
They
They escort you back to like private quarters. It has its own kind of kitchen, or not kitchen, but like dinette or dining area that's shared amongst the rooms of that wing of the house. Where some of the slaves will be taking any order requests that you guys have and will prepare any food that you guys would like.
All the food.
Okay, you guys eat.
I'll ask them to bring a bit of everything for my companions.
Okay, you guys. It takes a little bit of time. About you guys probably have about a half hour to hour while you guys waiting for the food to be prepared to discuss amongst yourselves. There's some servants in and out of the room, but none of the guards that were there they kind of sit outside of the room. Just kind of, but you're kind of just amongst yourselves right now at the table.
Lovely bunch.
I'm sorry I didn't warn you too much of what to expect from Minzo on our travel here.
Honestly, not as bad as I thought it would be.
You guys did very well. Anika had me nervous there for a second, like, oh shit.
Yeah, I wasn't actually picking a fight. She was standing up for her.
I've been holding my tongue for so long.
You guys have done so well. Is there anything you guys want to discuss at dinner before going to bed? Or do you guys want to just have a nice meal and then go to bed for the night?
Well, I think all of our political maneuvering needs to be tomorrow. And
I will say, at the council tomorrow, it might be best to dress up a bit. Dress respectfully, with respect, of course, but make ourselves appear worthy of their time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. The food comes out. It's several different like meats and vegetation. Nothing that you guys are familiar with. It's mostly either farmed from the lake attached to the city. Not the Amethyst Lake, but there's a much smaller lake that's near Menzo that's used for food and fishing and gathering. And you guys have several different dishes. Faye, you're comfortable with eating all of them. You do have your own favorites and likes and dislikes. The others, it will take a little time and trying to stomach through some of it, but some of it's not the worst. It's some of it tastes like chicken. Some of it tastes like slimy chicken. But you guys make it through the dishes. I'm sorry, did you want to do something, Anika?
No, that was an involuntary reaction to slimy chicken.
I'll point out the ones I liked, everyone.
So, and Faye tries to recommend things that are most digestible or palatable for those of you that are not used to eating this kind of food. But even you, Faye, have a little bit of a struggle, just a slight bit, just being away from it for some time and getting used to some of the more surface pleasantries versus the Underdark pleasantries.
Few months.
At this, if there's nothing else you guys would like to do, I guess you all retire to your bedroom for the evening. Unless there's anything else you'd like. I don't want to rush you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. We're over the magic mark, and there's one last scene I'd like to kind of knock out. But if there's anything else you want to do,
Nope.
Yeah, I'll just try not to pick a fight tomorrow. Although, sorry, Faye, I can't promise.
I mean,
Faye, do you want to make the special request to some of the servants for dress clothes for all your friends?
Let's see. Looking at everyone with the Nick, I think one of my younger sister's fancy dresses should fit her. I'm sorry, Nika, that it will be child clothes, but it's the only ones we have that will fit you. I'm very sorry.
Mm.
Fair enough.
The servant looks at Wolfram and the Dragonborn like, what about these two? I don't think we have anything for the big guy. And what would you like to wear, sir? As he kind of addresses you, Chronis.
A simple robe of some kind would be fine.
Okay.
And then
Please stop me if you. Okay.
And looking at Lorna,
It's quite all right, Faye. I've been to these types of meetings. I have something.
And then Skybor, get him one of my brother's nice outfits.
What would that be for?
Skybor looking presentable.
And some shoes.
We'll have to talk to Skywar offline about that and say, hey, Skywar, will you wear fancy clothes for a political meeting? I don't know.
He probably
Extra
will,
credit.
no shoes.
I would love, or go ahead.
I said Skybor's not going to wear the shoes.
Yeah,
He's gonna be, like,
that was
full,
my first
like,
reaction
suit.
was to be like, no. But I'm not
like,
Skybor.
I'm imagining like a what movie is that? George of the Jungle. Like
Yeah.
he's wearing like a suit, but like
Full
no
on
shoes
tux.
or like
No shoes. Didn't even wash his feet.
Oh.
So the servant agrees to your request, and he will go and try to find different clothes for you guys for the next day to wear. Extra credit would be fun if you guys would like to find like a picture of what you imagine. Otherwise, I'm sorry. For those that don't have fancy clothes on them, it sounds like Lorna, you do have some fancy clothes in your inventory. They will probably provide you guys noble clothing in the fashion of what Drow would wear down here. Wolfram, you have a little bit more freedom because I don't know if they're going to have something that fits your size, nor I think they may not require you to wear it because of you being a Warforged, but you're more than welcome if you want to find a picture of what you think Warforged would wear. I'd love to see it. And that goes for all of you. I'd love to see a picture of what you think we'd wear in Drow attire. That'd be awesome to see. But as you all retire to your room for the night, unless anyone wants to do anything else?
No?
You all go to your room. Each have your own individual room. It's very much so following the decorated motifs of spiders, symbols of House Bonray, and purple, rich purple linens and stuff, and sheets that kind of pull the whole color theme together of this house. You guys then go to sleep. And
Actually, I go into Faye's room and ask if I can sleep in her room because I'm not sleeping in a separate room right now.
What's that thing?
Nika will walk in. You'll see tons of bookcases in there filled with various books.
I suddenly get very excited and am no longer sheepish as I was. But yeah, After what happened, I'm not sleeping alone right now. Hope you don't mind.
You don't have a choice.
Not really.
All right. So you all go to sleep. Wolfram, you don't really have to sleep. You can stay up doing whatever you'd like to do. You can read maybe some of the books of Fae if you'd like to, but you have to do some form of rest, I guess.
I only need to rest like 6 hours, so I guess the other 2 I'm up, I'm going to be just carving a little stone idol of Moradin.
Okay. So we are up for time, guys. As you guys sleep, though, you do. 3 of you have nightmares in the middle of the night. And I will send you something. You guys don't. It's not like before where you like lost sleep and you had an exhaustion point. But you all have. Not all of you. I'm sorry. 3 of you have visions that come to you in the middle of the night. And because we're running over time, I just want to kind of get to that point to make sense for the images I'll share with you offline. I'll send you guys pictures or details of what you see in your dreams over the night. Those who do have these nightmares.
Okay.
But other than that, if no one has anything they want to do last second, I think we can end the session there. We ran a little late. I apologize. I tried my best, but I just want to make sure we get to a good stopping point. I'm sorry this wasn't a lot of combat. This was a lot of talking. I hope that wasn't too boring for everyone, but I had a lot of fun tonight. I never did anything political like this, and this is kind of fun for me to try.